A question that a lot of people have been asking me is whether I need to hire an attorney to attend my immigration interview with me. And I've been getting this question a lot in the context of marriage-based green card interviews because I handle a ton of these. It's actually what I try to focus my practice on. If you need any assistance with that, be sure to reach out. My info is in the video description below. The answer that I give everyone when they ask me if they need to bring an attorney is, generally speaking, no. As long as you prepare with an attorney and you bring the correct documents and you know how to answer questions that you don't know the answer to, like effectively how to say, I don't know, then generally speaking, you don't need to bring an attorney with you to the interview. People are afraid that they're going to get detained at these interviews. I put out a couple of videos about how the chances of that happening are very low, but there are a couple things that might increase the chances of you getting detained at an interview. And the most obvious one is criminal history. If you have a criminal case pending or something that resulted in a final conviction, like a DUI, it might be a good idea to bring an attorney with you to the interview. And by the way, just because you have an attorney present at the interview doesn't mean that ICE isn't going to detain you. I mean, I see these videos all the time of attorneys just standing there, not really able to do anything as ICE officers take their clients out of the immigration court hearing and detain them. That's a different context. Those are removal proceedings where someone's actively being deported from the United States, but the fear is still real. And people have been detained at USCIS interviews, although it's very rare and not something that 99% of permanent residence applicants need to be worried about. Another situation where you might want to consider bringing an attorney with you is if there's any history of immigration fraud or major immigration violations. The big ones are when people have entered the US multiple times illegally, they may have triggered a permanent bar. And in that situation, it's super risky to attend a green card interview because first of all, you're probably not eligible for the green card if you're subject to a permanent bar. And if you're simultaneously deportable, which most people are when they attend these green card interviews because they're just out of status, then that's a pretty risky situation to be in. And if you insist on proceeding with your case, it's probably a good idea to bring a lawyer there so that if something happens, the lawyer can at least give a notice of representation to ICE and they'll be able to follow up to figure out where you're being detained, be able to contact loved ones, assist you in your defense from deportation. The final situation where you might want to consider bringing an attorney with you is if you are currently in removal proceedings. You might be wondering, why would you be attending a USCIS interview if you're in removal proceedings? But the answer is there are many situations in which this can be possible. For example, if you're married to a US citizen and you're in removal proceedings, oftentimes you cannot do a one-step adjustment of status where you file the I-130 and I-485 simultaneously. In these situations, first you need to file an I-130 directly with USCIS. USCIS will oftentimes interview you and your spouse, ensure that it's a good faith marriage, approve the I-130, and then you show that I-130 approval notice to the immigration judge so that the judge either lets you terminate deportation proceedings to file the adjustment of status application directly with USCIS, or the immigration judge will ask you to file the I-485 adjustment of status application directly with the court so that the immigration judge can make a decision on your adjustment of status application. In those situations, you would still need to attend an I-130 interview. And I just think the risks of being detained are higher when you are in removal proceedings. If your case is just a clean visa overstay, and by that I mean you never previously violated the terms or conditions of your visa before your most recent overstay, you haven't left the US since your overstay, you've never been arrested or charged with any crime whatsoever, there's no history of immigration fraud, and then it's just like a clear family relationship. For example, you're married to a US citizen. As long as you prepare with me or an immigration attorney before your interview, in those situations, I kind of think it's a waste of money to bring an attorney with you to the interview because when people hire me to attend these interviews, I can't speak on your behalf unless it's like a complex legal issue and the immigration officer doesn't understand your entire immigration history. I can jump in there. Or if the officer begins asking really inappropriate things, I could escalate the situation to a supervisor and ask for a different officer. These things are pretty rare, but they do occasionally happen. 99% of the time though, when people bring me to one of these clean immigration interviews, I'm just sitting there in the corner taking notes, and the clients are wasting their money by having me there at the interview. With that said, I understand that these are scary times, and I'm not judging if you want an attorney with you at the interview. I totally get it. It just depends on how much financially you're comfortable with that and how much risk you're willing to tolerate if things do go south at the interview. But I still tell most of my marriage-based green card applicants that they don't need me or an attorney present at their interview. And I'm gonna keep saying that until I have persuasive information to the contrary. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you need any assistance with any family-based immigration matter, whether you're petitioning for a spouse, parent, child, or you want to naturalize, contact me. My information is in the video description below. I would love to consult with you, figure out the best strategy for your case, and represent you if you need an attorney to assist you with your case. If you're new to my channel, I try to put out several videos each week on family-based immigration, naturalization, and changes to immigration policies under the Trump administration. If you want to learn more about these and stay up to date, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.